All right, welcome to episode 5 of Tuesdays with Brendan and Darrius. And here we go. We have a special guest coming up today. Her name is Catherine Consiglio. Some people call her Kat. I probably said her last name wrong, but what we have going on is some kind of cool topics, more relating to state college rather than Oxford, Pennsylvania, and Maryland and Delaware and those types of places. But there is going to be topics related to outside of Pennsylvania. So let's bring her in right now. Welcome to the stage, Catherine.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm fantastic. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So this is your intro. So welcome to this show.
Thank you.
And is there any way you want to introduce yourself to anybody?
Um, I don't know. I like your background a lot. I like all the little signs on the wall. Kind of reminds me how you used to decorate our apartment.
We're going to get into that.
A lot of stuff on the walls.
Yeah.
But no, not really. I'm excited to be here. I just moved back to Pennsylvania this year, so that's a big, big move and exciting and challenging and different. So it's been a very interesting year for me, relocating back to PA, and that's about it.
Yeah. So that actually kind of like leads me right into like you are big on traveling. We know this. Like we lived together for years and like going from Pennsylvania, Colorado, Miami, wherever it may be, right? So
Mhm.
like can you elaborate on like the differences of like layovers and where the best places are to go? Because you know it better than probably anybody I know.
Layovers. Like, what are the good airports to have a layover?
Anything you want to say? Yeah.
Um, I mean, I try to never have layovers, but it's hard where I am now in Pennsylvania because State College is like one of the closest airports to fly out of, but the State College airport is tiny. It has just those two gates, so like you almost always have a layover out of State
There's
College,
like
and
four
then
employees, right?
yeah, and then there's a there's an airport like 20 minutes from my house in Martinsburg, and that one only has one gate, and it flies out like 2 flights a day. So that one connects in Charlotte, and I've been doing that one a lot because it's just like it's a quick flight. Like I said, it's 20 minutes away. You can show up like 30 minutes before your flight, and then it connects in Charlotte, and Charlotte's an international airport, so then it kind of goes like wherever from there. So I've been doing that recently to so I don't have to like travel to Pittsburgh or to Philly to fly. But I don't know. I'm like the kind of weird person too who kind of enjoys being in an airport all day. Like I really don't mind a long travel day. Like I feel like airports are interesting, and I don't know, they're like it's like being in a little bubble outside the real world. So I really don't mind like having layovers, but I like being in airports.
Yeah, I would say like airports are cool. No, 9/11 did scare me, but that aside, um, is like where's your go-to place for food when you're in an airport? Is it like Starbucks or like anything?
Well, it depends on how long the layover is. Obviously, if it's like a longer layover, I like to post up like in a restaurant where I can like have my laptop out, have my headphones in, watch a show or do work or something like that, and like get a drink, have a cocktail, have a snack, whatever. I try to find like a good restaurant instead of just like a
Gotcha.
Starbucks or because a lot of times they'll have like local businesses in airports too, like local to the area. And so I try. It's nice to like support a local business over like a like a McDonald's or a Starbucks or something like that.
It's crazy because like when I went out to Colorado, which I don't travel a lot like you do. You travel all over the place in the country, and we'll get into you traveling overseas as well. But um is like I will go to like, yeah, hey, where's the local Popeyes, that type of thing, or Chick-fil-A. And like I'm that guy, but like we both lived in Colorado for a certain period. How
Yeah.
many times did you have to fly from Pennsylvania to Denver, Colorado International Airport?
Um, I normally came home to Pennsylvania to visit, I think like 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
So from PA to Colorado, yeah, probably 3 or 4 times a year for like 6.5 years. So a bunch of times.
To me, that
Too
sounds
many
like
times.
saving up money. That's for me personally. That sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, it could be I mean, obviously, like booking your flights in advance helps. Colorado airport can be like a real pain in the ass, though. Like,
And so, for people that don't know, like when you drive into Denver's airport, there they have that horse thing outside.
Lucifer.
Is that what it has a name?
Yeah, it's a blue horse with like bright orange eyes,
Mhm.
the Broncos colors,
Okay.
and so it looks like a devil horse. So they call him Lucifer because he's blue and Lucifer. So yeah, he's called Lucifer.
So I only been there one time, and it was just because me and my dad made the trip out to Eagle, Colorado
Right.
this past winter, and had to go through there, and I dropped him off at the Denver like airport. But yeah, that horse, I mean, it definitely stands out for
It's a
sure.
creepy horse. It's a weird horse.
And I was like, all right. There's like the Rockies in the background. Then there's this horse thing. Like, it's almost like the Mona Lisa. It's definitely looking at me. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I didn't know his name was Lucifer, but
No,
yeah,
Lucifer with a B, as in Brendan.
oh, Lucifer.
Lucifer.
No one knows. Okay, no one knows what the name is.
Everybody knows that. Well, whatever.
Lucifer.
Lucifer. The color blue.
Yeah,
And then
people in Colorado hate me right now. Yeah. All right. Well, I just saved all their lives from the devil.
Yeah, he's a weird horse. Where that, I don't know.
It's crazy because, like, obviously, like, for people that don't know, Kat was my roommate. Catherine was my roommate for I don't know how many years, 3, 4, something like that. But one of the best roommates I've ever had. And she moved out to Denver. And so she's like really familiar with that area. And what would you say is like your biggest differences you noticed from Denver, Colorado, from like Pennsylvania, where you're from?
Oh, geez. There's so much. I mean, the weather is very, very different. I think we have a prettier fall on the East Coast. Like all the different colors in the trees and stuff. Like the fall out there is very like the leaves just kind of all fall at once and you don't get all the colors and stuff. Other than like the aspens get really yellow. But I think we have a nicer fall here. But what's nice about Colorado is the air is really dry. So like when it's hot, it doesn't feel as hot. And when it's cold, it doesn't feel as cold. And it doesn't get so icy. Like it gets so icy here in the wintertime. And out there, it's like a very dry, cold. So the snow mostly stays like fluffy. Like it's easier to scrape off your car, shit like that. And then just like a much more eclectic mix of types of people. Obviously, I mean, Denver became so popular, and Colorado like just became so popular in the past 15, 20 years. You have so many people from all over the place. Like I would run into Pennsylvania people all the time there. So definitely just like a wider mix of different kinds of people. Um, the mountains are a lot different. They're a lot taller. But yeah, lots of different kinds of people. I prefer the weather out there. I prefer the fall season here. But yeah, a lot more populated, a lot more traffic, which is shitty. And they have the like 6-lane highways, which I find terrifying. I like our little like 2-lane highways here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's crazy is I just to follow up on that is I'm from, an hour from Philly, right? And so they call this like the Philly suburbs, Chester County, but
Right.
my whole family is from Delco. And so my mom's from CK, my dad is from Springfield, both Delaware County. And I went out to Colorado on a whim. It was like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just going out to Colorado, Eagle, Colorado, to be exactly.
And
So
you
it's
didn't
like
come to see me at any point. I just want to throw that out there.
that is true, and that is on me. There's a lot of things on me. All right,
Anyway,
you don't have to
continue.
throw that on me. All right. Um. Yeah. So I dropped my dad off at the airport there in Denver. That's how I knew. But yeah, I like the differences between like where I'm from and out there, up there in the Rockies where it's like 9,000 feet in the air elevation. I was like, holy shit, I can't breathe. All
Yeah.
I all I did was pick up a bench, and I'm like, okay, all
No,
right,
altitude sickness is very real.
yeah,
That happens.
yeah,
Scary. My mom got really bad altitude sickness. One time she visited me in Boulder and she got really, really sick from the altitude, which people aren't super prepared for. But yeah, a lot more like active people too. Like you'll see like 60-year-old people just like riding their bikes like up super steep hills, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Am I allowed
yes.
to curse?
Yeah, no, I checked into a hotel. It was like a 1-star hotel or whatever they had me put up in. But I talked to the general manager of it and I was like, yo, I can barely breathe and I haven't even gotten all my clothes in the hotel yet. And she's like, no, no, that's normal. That's
Yeah.
normal. Don't drink really, because that's only gonna hurt. And I'm looking to the left and the right outside the hotel, and it's like weed shop here, weed shop there. And I'm like, all right, well, I can see how this is going to go. Uh, it's like coffee, weed, and definitely no pizza. But like coming from like a place where we met each other up in like State College, Pennsylvania, it's like all it is up there is really like a lot of it's like family, but it's mostly party, like bar scene,
Yeah.
that type of
College
thing.
town.
And then going to Colorado and traveling through the Rocky Mountains up there, I'm like, are you kidding me? It
Yeah.
didn't seem real.
I feel like
And
the first time you go through them up through the mountains is like crazy. Like
yeah,
you never forget it.
it
And
said
it never gets
moose.
old.
It said moose crossings, and I'm like, okay, I have a cat, um, and not you, but like an actual fat cat, and I'm like, yeah, like, all right, moose crossings, like, what the fuck? But like, it was super cool and going through Vale and all that. and like I guess on the way to Aspen, it was after that, but like yeah, that's where I was, and I was like, oh my god, this is absolutely incredible. And what I would say to people, and I don't know if you'll agree, but like the whole drive is like I-70 for the most part to
Yeah.
get out there. And going through Kansas, I don't think Kansas is a real state. I
I don't think I saw any people. I don't think
no,
I saw a
there's
human
no
being
one
in
there.
Kansas.
There's no one there.
There's like there was just a lot of flat and a lot of like cows and yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't think I saw anything. I,
It was a lot of nothing for a really, really, really long time, which is so crazy because then when you get into the city, it's so overly populated and there's so much traffic and there's so many people. After you've just driven for like 20 hours straight, seeing
yeah,
nothing and no one,
yeah,
like as far as your eye can see out to the horizon, there's nothing. And then
yeah.
you get into the city and it's just like people everywhere.
It
Yeah,
was so cool, like when
Kansas.
Kansas stopped.
Yeah,
Um, once I got to Colorado, yeah, there was still like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is, to get to
yeah. You have to do.
Denver.
I think you have to do your time in Nebraska first, and then.
Um, no, I tried to skip that state. Yeah, and, I couldn't do two Kansases or whatever. Like, and
Double Kansas is a no go.
but yeah. And you get to Colorado and you start like not seeing as many like windmills going around on the sides and all that. And then once you see like the Rocky Mountains in like the backdrop and Denver's coming up and all that, it's like holy shit, this is like really, really cool. And I feel like that should be a bucket list for everybody, to be honest. That's just me.
Yeah, I feel like I mean everyone says this now, which is great. Just that like there are so many places domestically you can go and travel that are like so breathtaking. You don't like need to leave the country. You don't need to, and Colorado is one of those. Like there's just so many places to go in Colorado and things to see that like you don't need a passport. You can stay in the country and see like some of the most breathtaking things you can imagine in Colorado. So yeah, I think somewhere people should definitely visit if they haven't visited, or even if they're not going to live out west, just to get out and visit is it's a really great place.
Is there, you cut out for like, I don't know, 5 seconds there. Is there a place in Colorado that you would recommend to people as like a bucket list place besides Denver? Besides Denver.
Um, I really loved Steamboat Springs. Um, I think that the natural hot springs there are like really magical, and a lot of like the Olympic training happens there, so it's good skiing and good snowboarding. And really, really pretty in the summer and pretty in the winter. There's like great horseback riding and stuff to do in the summer, but then the winter is really beautiful too. It's really nice to go like sit in the hot springs in the winter while it's snowing and stuff. So I think Steamboat's a really, really cute little area, and it almost feels like kind of remote still too. So it's nice.
A little side story, which you probably don't even remember, is you had moved out to Denver, and
I'm so
I
interested to hear this.
I had a girlfriend. I don't even know if we were dating, honestly. Um, let's just call it a girlfriend. Maybe just like I don't know, someone I liked. Who knows? But
Was it the one you were dating when I moved out?
not the one with the kid. No, not that one.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, not that one.
Okay.
But I had texted you and I was working at a plasma place, like plasma donation place.
Like a bio
And
life.
the same type of thing, but not BioLife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just a place, just know I had no business being there. And um I had texted you. I was like, "What's a cool place of Colorado that you think like a girl would like as like a gift, like for like a birthday type of thing?" And you told me Steamboat Springs.
Oh, did I?
You did,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, okay, I haven't changed my mind then.
Yep, you have
Yeah.
not changed your mind, and obviously I am not with that girl anymore. But
But did you take her to Steamboat?
but
That's
it
why we're not together because you didn't listen to my advice and you didn't take her.
no, I did listen to your advice.
You did
It's
take her?
yeah, it just didn't work out. Let's just say that. Yeah, it didn't work out. And that's another thing we're gonna get to here. Uh,
Can't wait.
yeah. Well, actually, let's just get to it right now. Do you think like now this is a actual relationship thing, like myself, yourself, whoever in the world. Do you think you have like a specific type? Because I've been labeled that I do by my friends for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
I think I definitely have like a specific personality type.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know. Actually, I don't know. It's hard. I feel like also like we're both in our 30s, and once you're in your 30s, it's kind of hard to say because like you spent so many years dating that it's like you kind of dated like every kind of person. Once you're in like your once you're like well into your 30s.
Steamboat Springs
So
didn't work. I'll tell you that right now. It didn't work.
yeah.
So
um I don't know. I mean, I think everyone kind of has like little things that they prefer physically with people. I think people probably more so have like a type when it comes to who they're compatible with personality wise or who they aren't. Like sometimes people just date people who are horrible for them, but I don't know. Do you have a type?
yeah, that's kind of why I brought
I'm
it
trying
up.
to picture any of the girls that you dated.
Well,
Do
it's
you have
not always like date. I don't know. There's been girls that like trust me. I'm not hot or popular or anything like that. It's just I've been put in relationships on like Facebook, and
I
I
remember
didn't
that.
I didn't ask. So it's like all right, here we go.
Was that
Uh,
New Year's Eve one year? Or like Christmas one year? It was like it was around a holiday, I remember, and
mm-hmm.
you like called me or texted me freaking out and you're like, that girl that I'm hanging out with like just put on Facebook that we're in a relationship and everyone's commenting on it and
Yeah,
everyone's liking it
that
and I was
one.
like, that's a bold move on her. I mean, good for her. She just
I mean, yeah,
how do
no.
you, it's not like you could take it back because she already had put it out there for everyone to see.
There was already 70 comments. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm not popular, and I have the most comments on a Facebook post of all time.
Yeah, no, she really boxed you in to where like what were you
What do
gonna
you
do at
do?
that point? Like
What
you're
do you
getting like
do?
congratulations, buddy, text messages.
Like, yeah,
That was like genius on her part.
I guess she liked me. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it
Um,
worked. You guys dated after that, right?
yeah, we dated for like 2 weeks. Um, no, but my friends they give me crap because like having a type is like or yeah like skinny brunette that whole thing girl type like that's what it is, whereas I've lived with you, I know you have a thing for Spanish guys. Sure.
First, there
you
was
know you know you do you know
okay,
you do.
there was a little South American phase
Is
a small
that
phase that I went through for a decade.
Is that faithful? I was like about to buy a Venezuelan flag at one point. I'm like, hey, let's go. Let's do this.
All right.
All right, now I'm just
You went for Central America instead. You went all Costa Rica.
yeah, I got the country wrong. Um,
Wrong continent.
but I did go through a Costa Rica phase.
Yeah.
Um, so let's just put it this way: as far as like people who have roommates and all that type of stuff, yeah, Kat had to put up with my bullshit. And I went to Costa Rica with my family for like
One time.
one time for like 5 days. And I just did my best to buy everything Costa Rican. And it wasn't even Costa Rican, it was like off of Amazon. And so it was like, yeah, all of a sudden there's a palm tree in the house. The
Full
next day,
size
yeah,
palm tree. Pura Vida everything.
Pure Vita.
Vida everything.
Um,
A
you know
storm
what?
glass to tell the weather.
All right, the thing to tell the weather I still have. It's never wrong, but it's also never right.
Never right.
Yeah.
And that was
No.
a fun time because anyone I had over to the apartment for the first time, they were like, "Oh, your living room is beach themed." It looked like a rental. Our place looked like a rental property. Like, you know, when you go to Ocean City or like wherever you go to the beach and like you get your hotel, like that's exactly what our apartment looked like. It looked like a rental property on the beach,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was
How you could
in
tell the weather.
I mean, we looked outside our glass window, our glass
Like
sliding door.
snowing and the thing you would just shake it like a snow globe and it would be like, it's like 84 and sunny.
I don't know that you were supposed to shake it. I don't know how that thing worked, but
I don't know. We had another roommate who would just shake the hell out of that thing. Um, that is funny. I always wondered, like when you would have your own friends over, whether it's like you're like, meeting up with a guy or like your girlfriend's over, whoever it may be, and then just they walk in there and they just see all that.
I would kind of like wait to see how long it would take people to say something because like it had to come at some point with everyone, but you were just
They
kind of
have to
waiting to
notice.
see like
Yeah.
yeah. And sometimes though it made sense before they would even say anything because you would come upstairs like in a straw hat. You remember the straw hat you used to
Oh, I still got that. Yeah.
Yeah, like a straw hat, like a tropical shirt, and then I think for people sometimes the pieces just clicked, and then they didn't have to explain it.
How many people were like, Kat, who the fuck are you living with?
You know, I really liked when I was moving out, and I asked you to take pictures of the apartment, and you took pictures of yourself, like just looking threatening, like. The picture of the kitchen was like you laying next to a trash can with a bandana on, like just laying next to the trash.
With like a fake cigar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I you have to give me some type of credit. I did kind of kill it on that one.
Yeah.
And it was more like if you're like posting like a Craigslist or Zillow or some type of listing for apartments for someone to move in. And then you got me there laying next to like bags of trash. And I really didn't want you to go to Denver. I just totally tried to ruin it. But I'm happy you did. And then we already talked about it. I ended up in Colorado also.
I know, which is so fun.
Yeah. So I'm like so happy that actually happened for you and for me. Yeah, it was like my mind is like I might need to get back to Philly. You know what was crazy for me there is I would call myself to everybody. I worked in an ice castle.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I tell people that now, they're like, "What is an ice castle?" I'm like, "Nah, it's exactly what it sounds like." Um, like that Disney movie Elsa, where I'm like, it's literally like 2 acres, 3 acres of an actual ice castle with slides and all that type of stuff and snow caves. I They would put me out front in as like the greeter. So I would just tell myself, to every single person that came in, I would say, "Yeah, I'm the Walmart greeter of ice. How you doing? I'm Brendan." And they'd be like, "Are you from Delco?"
I
I'd be
bet
like,
people loved your like Philly accent.
I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, how do you like? No, but yeah."
People love an Eastern PA accent.
They know it out there. They really do. Um, and that's what shocked me. And so I remember I called my mom and dad, who are actually from Delco, and I was there and I was like, "Yeah, these people like came there, and I'm all the way up in the Rocky Mountains in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, I can't feel my hands or toes or nothing." And they're like, "Yeah, um, they said, 'Are you from Delco?'" And I'm not. I'm from Chester County, but it's right next to Delco, and
Yeah.
they're from Delco. And I was like, they like laughed. They're like, ha, like, yeah, it's cool. And then it happened like 3 or 4 more times. And I'm like, what is going on right now? Like, why do these people up here 10,000 feet in the Rocky Mountains know what Delco is?
Yeah.
And I don't think I have an accent, but clearly I do, or they're from there or
Well,
something.
yeah, I don't. I think like first of all, an ice castle is probably a good tourist attraction, so you probably had like a good amount of tourists. And then also just like I think a lot of people from the East Coast have moved out there too, so maybe they just picked it up. I feel
I
like it's
was
a
gonna
pretty
say
distinct
that.
accent.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, you yourself moved out there, but also you and a lot of friends, even just from State College, moved out there, right?
Yeah.
So, um, I feel like that was like move. I don't know if it still is or not, but like that was like a thing for a while living up in State College to move to Colorado.
Yeah, it was like a mass exodus
Yeah.
at one point. So
It was like all the bars in State College were like, "All right, yeah, we gotta hire."
we're leaving.
Uh, all right. Let me get you to the next topic here. All right. This one is crazy because I know you've been through it and I've been through it too.
Oh God.
And I don't want to do a rankings. I really don't. But the state college bars. Yeah. This is
This
something
is
you
gonna
know
be tough.
this is something you know very well about and something I also know well about, right? So, um I like was in the bar game at the Shandy Gaff, the Gaff they call it, and then left the game and then went back and helped open Jack's, that type of thing. You had been like the first Permanis, like those types of places. For people that aren't familiar with State College and the bars, you have to give some insight on this.
Well, the reason I said this is tough is because I haven't lived there. I haven't even visited there since I left, and that was like 7 years ago. So I don't mind all of everything I know about the state college bar scene. I think is going to be very like dated and not. is probably not going to make much sense anymore. Like when I was there, I would say that the Permanis there was definitely like the best place to bartend. That's the last place that I bartended before I left. Skeller had shut down when I left, so no one knows it now because that was like 7 years ago when it shut down. I loved the Skeller, but the first was obviously like a very traditional bar to go to. Champs was just a year or two old at that time, and Champs was a great venue, but I don't know. I haven't been up. I heard it's like a lot more, like high rises now and parking lots and things like that. So, I mean,
It is.
I knew more about
Yeah.
how it is now because I don't know if anything that I knew is like relevant anymore.
No, but I don't think people care about what it is now, to be honest with you. I mean, it is. You're 100% correct. It's all high rises now, and it's like, all right, yeah, all right, cool. Like you're getting rid of places like the Skeller, which I know is now Doggies, which might be popular. I don't know. We don't live there, but
Yeah, and
um,
Spats, the restaurant upstairs, was one of my favorite restaurants that is no longer there.
Allen Street Grill,
Spats.
Spats.
But Allen Street Grill was great too. I don't know. I think they opened up somewhere else, but no, it was the coolest little community. All the bar staff and ownership, everyone was really tight knit, which was cool. Like I feel like everyone kind of wanted each other to succeed for the most part,
Yeah.
and like we would all kind of look out for each other, and everyone who worked in the industry there was close. And
You remember Industry Night?
yeah, industry nights were great.
It'd be like at what was the place that would go downstairs at Indigo?
Oh,
Indigo? Or am I making that up?
there was a place called Indigo at one point. I was thinking of where's the place that sold the like giant pitchers of sugary mixed drinks? I don't know.
Every single place
Yeah,
there.
every bar in town.
um no, I remember being at Industry Night at Indigo and going down the stairs and it'd be
Yeah,
like, some really nice girl. She's probably like 19 or something. Like asking, like, "Hey, can I take your coat?" And he'd be like, "No, I'm okay." Um,
not the
Trust me,
coat stuck at
you don't
Indigo.
want you don't want this anyway. It was $12 at Walmart, but yeah, no, I remember Indigo doing industry nights, but like there was a couple because you had to think about it. Like there was only so many places there that could like host that many staff members
Yeah,
at the time. But I also remember like there was trips that would happen going outside of State College, as far as like bar staff, that type of stuff, industry nights going outside of
yeah.
State College.
Like the Jameson Ball was
Yeah.
a great night every year. There were fun things to do.
I once went on a freaking Captain Morgan bus tour to Hershey Park. I was hammered. I was just like doing like just drinking out the bottle on a bus.
Yeah, well, I mean, they would bring you like they would take you on these bus trips, and the bus trips would be like 4 hours long, and they would stock it with whatever booze the trip was sponsored by. So it's like you spend all that time on a bus just with other bartenders, servers, bouncers, whatever. So like by the time you get there, you've probably had a couple.
Oh, I didn't even want to go on a roller coaster. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm shit faced.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was definitely sponsored by Captain Morgan for
Yeah.
sure. Um, Now one thing I did want to ask you about and bring up is also like not your career necessarily, but we'll get to that. But like Galitzin. No, no one knows how to spell that. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. And that's why it's so hidden why nobody lives there.
I, I think a couple people live there, although I don't know if I've ever seen anyone in that town either.
Do
That's like
you know what the population of Galitzin is?
probably like 12. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen a person there.
And they're all in your family.
I think no one in my family even lives there, which is the funniest part, but I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those towns that makes you feel like life might be a simulation because I don't think I've ever seen a person just like outside in Gallitzin.
Yeah. They
It's just
have a diner though, right? They
yeah,
have a
they have a
diner.
diner, and I think they have like an American Legion.
That's the only thing I remember about Eagle, Colorado is like they had a diner and
Yeah,
the rest I didn't think it was real life. And I
yeah.
was like, yeah, I got to get back to like outside of Philly. But no, Gallitzin, like your family owns an awesome area there. I'm not going to get into that, but like it like you guys have like there's water, there's four wheelers, there's all this stuff, but I don't think anybody knows how to spell the word Gallitzin. No one.
I think I could spell it, but that's because I see the sign all the time or have seen it a bunch of times.
Are you sure you can actually spell it?
Yeah, isn't it? It's Galliltzin, right?
Are you sure about that?
I don't know. Let me Google it. Maybe.
Your family owns property there, Kat. You're
Yeah,
supposed to
I don't
know.
own property there. Yeah, I got it right. I won.
All right.
Okay.
So when I was like thinking about this before we did this whole like episode together, I was like, Galitzin. Is it Gel? No. Gal? Yeah. No no
Yeah.
F though.
Yeah, we had my 26th birthday there.
Is that what it is that how long it's been?
Yeah. 8 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All
Well, I'm
right.
about to be 33, so 9 years.
You're about yeah, I'll be 34 in September.
Yeah, so it'll be 9 years in a month.
Okay.
Literally exactly a month because it's June 9th and my birthday is July 9th. So in a month, it will have been 9 years since we did the party.
Do you want to show your background of your phone
No.
again?
As
Yeah.
soon as I did it,
All right. So what's up with the UK?
with the UK?
The UK.
Oh,
You
not a
mentioned
lot.
you mentioned it, not me.
Yeah, I don't go there anymore. No.
No. We were talking about like you going to Miami and Colorado and everywhere, and you did say UK.
The 2024, I spent a good amount of time in the UK because of a person that I
Did you
was.
call him Big Ben?
I saw Big Ben. It wasn't very impressive, to be honest.
Yeah.
But there were parts that were nice. I love London, but yeah, it was. I spent August there. I was there in November. It was the UK is okay. It's not bad. I probably should spend more time, like spend a little more time actually in London because I spent a lot of the time like a couple hours away from the city. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So, are you aware of the
terrible.
fact
That
that?
stereotype holds up. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Are you aware of the fact that the UK and England specifically has been voted the worst food in the entire world?
I was just saying that. So we were saying the same thing. No, yeah, that holds up. The food is not great. I mean, there are great restaurants that are like other kinds of cuisine that came to the UK and they do their food there, and
Yeah.
it's better,
Is
but
it,
it's
is
not.
it just fish and chips and that's it?
The fish and chips isn't even good. Like I've had way better fish and chips here in other places than
Yeah.
in the UK. It's even like they're like the McDonald's tastes worse. Embarrassing that I ate McDonald's there, but we had a long
Do
night.
they serve fish and chips at McDonald's in England?
I don't know if they serve any fish there. I didn't check for a fish fillet, but I know it's like they take out all the ingredients that could like give you cancer and kill you that we have here.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And I think those are all the ones that taste good.
That's great.
The
Man.
McDonald's there is trash.
McDonald's there in the UK is trash.
Trash.
Gotcha. So you're looking for that double quarter pounder with extra cheese?
I just want all of the
what I'm
whatever
hearing?
they put in it here, like all the I don't know what chemicals they use that make it like cancerous and just like bad for you, but like they need that there because it doesn't taste
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah,
And
and you know I'm like big against the cancer. You see the Live Strong band there. I'm
yes,
like, I'm not about that. But
no, I'm not pro cancer. I'm just saying that whatever they put in the McDonald's here makes it taste a lot better than the way it tastes in the UK.
do you think we have better cows?
I'm not pro cancer.
We live in Pennsylvania. Do you think we have better cows?
Better cows, probably.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We might. Um, Honestly, that I didn't write down too much stuff for tonight. But I like low key miss you. And what people don't know is like the relationship we have is almost like a brother sister type of thing.
Yeah.
And I know you have a bunch of brothers, and I have a few sisters. So it makes sense. And we live together. And um, the stories we have over the years that we did live together up in State College is like, yeah, we probably can't say all of them. Just
Right.
well, half of them we don't even remember. But um,
But some of the best years ever. Like,
some of the best years for real. Has anybody ever told you you look like Megan Fox?
no.
Okay. All right. Well, you look like a little bit like Megan Fox. Um, Getting back to the regular point, the naked egg.
Yes.
All right.
Best brunch at the
Thoughts?
time, best brunch in State College for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a great, great spot. And we weren't that far away from it, which was nice. That was
We
a
were
great hangover spot.
so hungover in the mornings back then.
Because we
Um,
were coming out of it wasn't so we weren't so young that it was like you could go out and have a bunch to drink and like be up at 8 a.m. and it was like nothing happened. Like we were transitioning out of like the super young. We were not in our early 20s anymore. We were like 24, 25, 26, 26, so we were like the
I don't
hangover
even think we
hit.
knew what age we were. That at the
Yeah,
time.
no, probably not. But
It'd be
it
like a
definitely the
Sunday
hangovers
morning.
were hitting for
Yeah.
sure. Like I know for me, it was tough times, and the naked eggs saved my life
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
Go to breakfast order. Go ahead.
At the naked egg, I think I just got a lot of traditional eggs Benedict a lot of the time.
Yeah. What would you do now?
Oh, and they had what was the chicken? What was the egg? It was like a hard-boiled egg, but then it had like chicken around it. It was called like a
Sounds like chicken and the egg.
oh, it was called like an oyster egg or something. Hold on.
Oyster egg. All right. I was gonna say that sounds like something I definitely didn't order, but um,
No, what am I talking about? Anyway,
There was a time when we both went there and your car like basically died.
I think my brain
You
blocked that
remember
one.
that?
No.
Yeah, okay. So for those watching or listening, is we
It's a
literally went
Scotch
there.
egg. Sorry.
Go ahead, say it.
A Scotch egg.
Scotch egg at the Naked Egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There was a time when we were definitely both hungover. I don't know if it was like a Sunday night or Monday morning, whatever the hell it was. But whatever, we went there, and because people have to realize, like, when you work in the bar industry, it's like Monday and Tuesday could be your day.
Your weekend. Yeah.
That's your weekend, right? So it was most likely one of those days. And then I remember you were like, "Yeah, I'll drive," and it was in that silver car. I'm not good with cars, but
It
it
was
was
a
one of
white
those
Ford Fusion.
gray car. Yeah, there you go. And you're like, "Yeah, I'll drive us." And we went. We had that. We had the whatever egg thing you said, and I remember we didn't have to go that far to like get back. And you were like, "Yeah, I think the car's gonna like die." And I'm like, what the
Did it
fuck?
just run out of gas? I have no memory.
No. You don't remember. It wasn't gas. It was like every check engine light thing possible was on. And I'm like, literally, I was like shaking in the passenger side, like, holy shit, this is actually happening. We're gonna either die or just be stuck on the side of the road after eating a Scottish egg or whatever.
But we didn't.
And we made it back and you got it fixed right after. But there was like that 5 minute moment where it's like, you looked at me. This is how hungover we were. We're probably so fucking drunk. You looked over at me and we're like, I don't know if we're gonna make it. And
We're gonna
I'm like,
phrase it like that too.
I'm
Like,
like, yo, should I walk? Like, what is going on now? I can't believe you don't remember that. But yeah, that was
that
what
would have been a
happened.
long walk.
That's well, I can tell you this. That was the last time I've ever been to the Naked Egg. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say it's the last time you ever got in a car with me driving.
Probably the last time I ever talked to you. Um,
That's why I moved out because we.
yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, she's going to Denver like now." Um, yeah, no, it was a good time. So I actually missed that place, low key hidden spot for those people up there. But yeah, just don't
I'm
run.
kind of nervous to like go back and visit because I wonder like how different it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna change my like memories and perception of the place. Like, would we have fun if we visited again? You know what I mean? Like, do we even know
I don't
anyone?
think
Do we
so.
know a single human being
Yeah,
who lives there anymore? I don't think so.
yeah. I think we would both feel old.
Yeah, and I already feel old, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel old. Um, yeah, I don't honestly. That is something that has come up. Now, one thing is Penn State, Oregon is coming up this year. I have to do it. I have to spend the $450, whatever it is, for a
like
ticket
go to the game.
to go to a game. I haven't gone to a football game since before COVID, like that type of thing. But it's like one of those things like I just have to do. So, no, I feel like State College is not the same as like when we were there. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
not. There's no way. I go up there on Labor Day so Labor Day is on Monday. I go up there this Sunday and do like fantasy football with people who used to run pickles and the gaff, all that type of
that's
stuff.
fun though.
Yeah, that's like cool, but it's at like someone's house.
Yeah,
And like just driving up there, I'm like, man, we got out at the right time. We did.
I think it was an appropriate like. I don't think we were gonna have any more. We weren't gonna do anything there that we hadn't already done. We'd like gotten all of the fun out of it that we were going to get at that time. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think if we had stayed any longer, it might have gotten. I don't know. I might have never left. It's like
Yeah.
Neverland.
Literally, yeah, we'd still be living at 1617 Ashwicken
That's
Court.
wicked, yeah.
Sorry if whoever lives there is listening to this, which I
I'm
doubt.
going back. If I ever go back to visit, I'm going to our old house and I'm knocking on the door and I'm going to be like, you have to let me in because I used to live here.
Does the fridge still smell? Um, is there somebody using my pans that shouldn't be and like stove?
I don't know why I was so neurotic about my pans.
Dude, it makes so much sense because I'm not gonna lie, I got totally bitched at. And they're like, hey, Brendan. No, this is my parents. They're like, Brendan, that pan over there costs a lot of money. And you need to really take into consideration how you treat that pan.
Yeah. When you
It
have
has to
good
be
pans,
washed a certain way. You can't use Dawn. Dawn's gone. All right.
Dawn's gone.
Dawn's gone. You have to use a specific way. And I was like, all right, well, you know what? You're giving me like PTSD from like 2018. Um,
From me.
yeah. So I
Sorry.
understand. Um, no, it's all good. But all right, hey, let's end it like this. This is the time where you get to say what you got going on in life. Anything you want to shout out, your family, your friends, you personally, your dog, whatever you want to. It's your floor, and then we are out of here.
No, my dog is napping, or I would love to bring him on screen. He deserves all the shout outs. But yeah, no, I am enjoying my new job here. But yeah, it's very. I feel
What
like
is
I
it?
should start filming my life because it's almost like when you move across the country to your hometown in your 30s and you've spent your entire adult life away and out of state. It's very, very strange and interesting coming home. Like back to your hometown for the first time since you were 18 is a little bit wild. Yeah, you can we have very similar trajectories there. So it's just been really crazy. I don't know. It's been like a wild, wild year. I can't believe we're like halfway through it, but it has been an experience coming. It's like starting over completely. Um, and it's funny, like some people, you get to your hometown and like some people forget you're like not 16 anymore. Like, does anyone treat you like you're like 18 years old still? And you're like,
I went to a bar in Oxford, and I was like, "Hey, my name is Brendan. I don't know. Uh, where, like, yeah, no, totally understand."
yeah. So it's just been that's really all I have going on is just trying to it's weird trying to establish yourself in like a new, well, I guess an old space, but that feels new and different, but also familiar. So it's interesting. It's an interesting time. I feel like you and I can chat about it offline.
It yeah, it freaks me out how like similar we sometimes are.
Yeah.
Um, but hey, it's a good thing. And Hey, we did this, right? Thank you
We
for
did
coming
it.
on. We thank you for coming on, Kat. You know I love you.
I love you. I miss you.
Consigula and Consiglio, and I'm gonna end it right now. So everybody will be back next Tuesday. Peace.